Hello, welcome to the Zero Ends channel. Please like and subscribe. Please enjoy our live.
What's good, everybody? Yes. Welcome to the Zero Ends channel. I am Zero Ends here. As you see the thumbnail, you see the title of today's stream. We're gonna get at it. Before we begin anything, if you are new to the Zero Ends channel, welcome. Oh, also to be and to join the Zero Ends channel, you know the deal. You hit the subscribe button and you hit the top notification bell for the uploads and live streams on Zero Ends channel. What else? What are the links that's on Zero Ends? I believe Zero Ends is also on TikTok as well. And that's the only social media links right now. There's no other social medias right now for the Zero Ends channel. And as I wait for everybody to come through or just to listen in, let me check notifications. All right. And I forgot. All right. What else I'm missing here? I'm trying to look at some things right now. Don't mind me, guys. I am looking at, and I'm trying to find the thing here. I think I'm missing something. Let's look. All right. And I'm looking, and oh, I forgot one thing. Let me delete some of these. It's always good to, go around, look at some things. Yeah, that's not gonna work. Anywho, before I run some video, well, actually, I'm gonna run some audio actually, because as y'all know, you're familiar with this lady here for some time now, and it's been bringing so much attention, so much buzz. I don't know where to start. Personally, I just don't know. But we had to start somewhere, like everything else. Yeah, do you agree? Um, and I'm just checking my message right now. And what else am I forgetting? I'm forgetting something. Yeah, I'm forgetting something here. Going back. Oh, yeah. Let me use this. I might set up a Twitter for Zero Inch channel. Still dabbling, thinking about if I should invest in doing so. That's the one thing. You know, it wouldn't hurt. You know, yeah, it wouldn't probably hurt out to have a Twitter. And I might get a set an email address to this as well. Still dabbling. Still dabbling. And oh. Yeah, I'm not gonna send. Oh, I'm looking at something right now, guys. And one other thing, as you know, the next probably upload a live stream or short, I'm thinking of going in about this thing about the banks. I know a lot of people have been talking about the banks lately, and they're concerned about the banking system. And for what reason, you're in the right to be concerned. But you have to look at things holistically as a whole of what really is the end game of a lot of things. And I think a lot of people are not really clear of the end game of why these things are happening the way they are. And you have to look at the forest before there's trees, personally. But anywho, I think that's pretty much it. I think any links that's not sent out, y'all eventually will get it. Oh, and let me forget. I can't always forget another department. But let's look at this arc about Miss Eboni K Willams and the life first of. And I was gonna look at her background. That might be. Matter of fact, screw it. Let me Google her. Let's look at her Wikipedia wise. Yeah, let's look at it. Yeah, I could do that. Let me do that now. All right, so let's look at this Eboni K's background briefly. I'm only gonna look at this briefly. I'm not gonna waste too much time on this. Eboni K Willams, American lawyer. Because they said she's a lawyer, but where does she lawyer? Let me see this Wikipedia for this woman. If she's not Wikipedia, that means you have not really Wikipedia. And always Wikipedia is always a nice little resource. All right. And it don't seem like she doesn't have much right now from when I'm looking at this. And it looks like she's more of a celebrity than a, how can I say, lawyer. So let's share a screen. We're gonna look at a few things. I will, like I said, I will play the audio of the so-called last interview she had, just for the sake of conversation, to really look at the contradictions and really the overall views of things. So let's share a screen now, and we're gonna look at briefly of this woman. Briefly, Wikipedia. Let's see what Wikipedia says about this woman. Eboni K Willams, born September 9th, 1983, is an American lawyer and television host. She co-hosts the late night talk show State of the Culture on Revolt TV. And I don't know if Revolt is a black-owned or white-owned establishment. She co-hosted talk show ABC in New York City and was a co-host of Fox News 2017 show Fox News Specialist. In October 2020, she was cast in The Real Housewives of New York City for the 13th season. Early life. Williams was raised by a single mother who was a bus driver. It says it here on Wikipedia. It says it here on Wikipedia. Ain't that something? Continuing. She received her Bachelor's of Arts in Communications and African American Studies at the University of North Carolina at Chapel Hill and her Juris Doctorate from Loyola University New Orleans College of Law. As a law student, Williams clerked for the Louisiana Secretary of State and the Louisiana Attorney General Office and assist New Orleans Council member of the alternate aftermath of Hurricane Katrina. 1 second, guys. 1 second. One second, guys. Oh, wow. That's crazy. Let me post it. Yeah, I don't like that. I do not like that at all. Anyway, sorry, guys. I'm getting distracted. Anywho. All right. Let me keep reading for y'all. Now, let's look at her career. In 2008, Williams provided legal counsel in family law and civil litigations. She was a public defender and returned to private practice in 2010. Williams provided representation for clients in homicide, drugs, sex, crime, and federal office cases. She was a correspondent for CBS News and a contributor for the Fox News. With appearance on Hannity and the O'Reilly Factor, and has appeared as a co-host on Outnumbering and The Five. Williams was a co-host for the Fox News Specialist afternoon show that first aired May the 1st, 2017, with co-hosts Eric Bolling and Katrina, I think called Tippett. The show was created after the departure of Bill O'Reilly to rebuild the Fox News Channel lineup. Fox News Specialist was canceled on September the 8th, 2017, which she would have turned 34 the next day. And after Eric Bolling depart from the network aimed at sexual harassment allegations, on June 5th, 2017, Williams joined WABC Radio and co-hosts on noon to 3 p.m. talk show along with longtime radio personalities Curtis Swaff, replaced Ron Kobe as Swala's co-host on the show. Her last show aired October the 18th, 2017. Williams described her time with Fox as a challenge, but I knew that, and I didn't go there to be comfortable. Let me be clear. I did not walk into Fox News to be comfortable. I walked in there to disrupt Willams hosts the program State of the Culture on Revolt TV. In October 2020, she was cast as the first African American member of the Real Housewives of New York City, joining the 13th season before the show recast season 14. And it says bibliography, pretty powerful 2006 reference, a lot of reference here. And I'm not sure how many books she wrote. Let me see what it gives me. It's the Real Housewives, Beverly Hills. Yeah, these are the appearance, I believe. Yeah. I mean, how many books she wrote? Because she wrote some books, but it look like it's only given this, that she was a specialist. So mostly nothing really talks about her times being a lawyer, besides briefly on Wikipedia. Imagine that. So it seemed to me when she got her Juris Doctrine, roughly the age at 25, maybe. I said maybe. That's how much she really has done besides being on television. One thing for a side note for a lot of y'all that will go back and read this. If you notice that, yeah, she has a lawyer degree. She has a Juris Doctrine, which is cool. She didn't do much of it because she only invested like maybe a few years, as I could tell, because if it was really more important of what she has done in the legal field, it would have been shown everywhere, especially Wikipedia. Wikipedia keeps enough information, and they are mostly on spot on a lot of information. Not saying that every information is really accurate enough, but they are pretty much close enough with a lot of information. And the beautiful thing about Wikipedia, they always update their information. So, like I said, whatever they're given right now, this is just a glimpse of from their views of Eboni K Willams. Let's stop sharing this. And I'm looking at more stuff. And let's see. They don't really go more in detail here, but it seems to me that even back in the background of this, they say her mother was a bus driver. So why is it that Miss Eli Van Zandt mentioned bus driver? I wonder why, people. 1 second, guys. Let me do this. Let me just do this. Let me do this. I'm trying to find some, guys. Yeah, I might have to update some tags a little bit. Oh wow. All right. I'll have to do this later because I can't really fix the tags right now on here. So y'all guys gonna do without. But let me just update this. And please, guys, as you like the video, please stay and watch it and give commentary. The chat room is not really locked off. Okay. There's a lot of games being played here. I did not notice about this. Eli would mention the bus. Just to bring back a sense of trouble. She does. Because she says she's the Lord. But anyway, from the so part, I'm just going through, trying to find the next article. in regards, personally, I could not find the valid not like type it in now. See if I can. Let me find it. All right. Sorry about that, guys. I'm back. All right. So let's look at this article here, and I'm going to send this to myself. And for some reason, I'm having issues. I don't know what's going on, but anyway, show must go on. Oh yes. Oh yes. All right. So to prevent this, let me refresh this. There we go. Next article. Actually, now we're gonna look into the article in regards to the dating life and what she choose and all this stuff. And the reason why I had to really look at it and read it for myself, because what I've noticed, what a lot of black folks, and this is just me, guys, that how you talk about, you know, permanent underclass, white supremacy of what a woman choose to do with the body and all that stuff, that is a form of white supremacy. All this and that third about choosing to really date a bus driver or not. And really, truly, most men don't really care if you really date a bus driver, if you can get a bus driver nowadays, personally. But overall, I gotta be honest with y'all. I mean, it's the context of a lot of things. And really, truly, some men should never gotten triggered over it. But let's be honest. We all men here, we know when ladies talk about certain things, it's always a poke in your side, man. It's always a poke. To really poke the bear, in other terms. But anywho, here we go. Eboni K Willams' ex-fiance reveals as CFO Stephen Glenn, as source shared with in regards what's led to split with Roni Starr. And this was done almost 2 years ago. Have you noticed when it comes to us as black folks, don't we know we smile more when we're around non-black people? Have you noticed that? Has anybody ever paid attention to that? I've noticed that. It's such a weird sight before my eyes to see something like this. I'm just saying. Anywho, Eboni K Willams' former fiance identity was just been revealed. Months after Real Housewives of New York City cast member claimed to have split from her mystery man in the midst of planning their wedding. His name and detail of his life has been confirmed, as well as apparent reasons for their split. Okay. On August the 5th, the Daily Mail reveals Eboni's ex-fiance of nearly 4 years is Stephen Glenn. And I think it goes more detail. The managing director of CFO and COO of Wimberg Pincus, a private equity partnership that has invested more than 94 billion in 940 companies since it began 50 years ago. Wow. So it's been established since 1961, maybe. According to the report, Stephen, 53, lives in a $2 million house in New Jersey and has 3 children, aged 21, 18, and 14. Okay. So they're mostly pretty much adults, the first 2 of them. And now, as of 2021, now 20, we look at the age at 23, 20, and roughly 16. Coming now in the new year. As Roni fans may have heard, Eboni at 37 back in 2020, and then turned 8, 2021. Well, it could have been 38 before they broke up, has blamed their breakup on Stephen's decision to stay with his children, 2 of whom are adults, and amidst of the, pandemic. Quarantine instead of making her number one. Okay. However, as an insider alleged, they were never heading to marriage as Eboni never took interest in his family. I wonder why. Because let's be honest and let's be clear. Let's be clear. Hold on a second. Let's be clear here. If you're a single woman and you're dating an older man, roughly a man that is maybe 5, or even go as far as a whole decade or 15 years or greater. On the average, this man is going to eventually might have kids. Now, you hear this notion that in regards to our communities is like more than half don't have children. For what reason? Maybe because they don't want to be on child support, or they just want the burden's responsibility, or even go as far as want to be stepdaddy. Whatever case may be, if you're pretty much wall hitting stage woman, and I literally mean that, you're going to be if you don't have kids, you're going to be dating some dude that's older, which she did, that has kids. And it's hard for me to believe that this man is going to really choose you over his 2 adult and 1 that's not an adult yet children. It don't make sense. And if I go back, I think his kids, are they all girls? I think 1 of them might be girls, or 2 of them, or all 3 he might have all 3 girls. Nonetheless, this man his interest is more make sure his children is fine and securing his legacy than dealing with you, my sweetie. It is what it is. And that's the thing you have to accept if you're dealing with an older man on the average. It is what it is. Just like you ladies want the brothers to sit there to pick you and your fucking children. Your children. And think that you're going to choose him over his kids. That is preposterous. And most dudes know this. So why is it so different from a man, especially a white man like himself, that look like he's well established, well done, he done well for himself, that he want to make sure his seeds, his legacy move on pretty well. And I don't think he has any interest of having more kids, because once you're married, you're that age, you already have more than 2 kids, and most of them they're on their way out the door to be adults. You're not in the business trying to have more kids. I'm just saying. But let's keep going on. While Eboni told the ladies on Ronnie that seeing Stephen with his children made her understand that there is nothing like that parental love, that bond. The insider went on to say that a person could count on the fingers of one hand the number of soccer games or events she attended during their romance. Okay, the kids barely knew her, and she barely knew them. She just wasn't engaged in the part of his life at all. They really weren't a New Jersey couple. She didn't really engage with his life. They were far more about New York. The inside continues. Okay. The source also alleged that Steve had paid for her to live in a 3-bedroom apartment in New York for seasons residence. Okay. While appearing on an episode on the Wendy Williams show earlier this year, Eboni said her relationship with Steve ended after he put his children before her in the midst of the pandemic, which he should, and he's in his right to do so. I have nothing against that. He chose to quarantine in New Jersey with his semi-adult children. And for me, listening, I'm not a parent yet. I get that there are a number of ones, but I need to be number 1, and I wasn't number 1, so I needed to move on. Eboni explained. You should not be number 1 because you are a side chick that could have potentially be a wifey. And it's very rare that, and let's be honest, if you're a man that's making that much money, you have side pieces. Let's have that conversation here. A lot of people don't want to hear that. Yes. Let me highlight that. You're side booty at best. Let me make myself big. You are side booty at best. This is true. And unfortunately, when it gets down, or it really concludes that for you to speak that you're going to be that number 1 in this man's life, you are sadly mistaken. And personally, to a lot of dudes, why do you think, ladies, why a lot of dudes don't think it's a good move dealing with a woman that have kids, especially multiple kids? Because he knows he's not going to be that main priority. And if he is the main priority, he knows he has to take the responsibility to deal with you and your children. It is what it is. I'm not sure why this is so hard for our ladies to understand this. I understand it, but a lot of women do not understand it. So they miss the boat that why a lot of dudes are opting out. And this is a clear indication. If you didn't know anything else, and reading this is one of many examples, mind you. So keep that in mind. And for those that's watching, please like the stream and leave a comment at the end of this video. I mean, I might put some timestamps to mitigate what just happened, but it is what it is. All right, let's keep reading and wrap this up. All right. Ebony explains, he is a lovely man, just wasn't for me. He's older. He's been there, done that. That doesn't really want a new baby and all that stuff. I want that stuff. Well, the problem is you're not going to get that because, like I said, the man has 3 kids. And if you're waiting and like literally you're waiting too long. Instead of, could have found to do that, either your age or just maybe 4 or 5 years older would have been a more better deal, personally. But as you know, personally, how I look at it, that once you date a man that already has kids and he's older, he's not in the business of having more kids. It is what it is. And a lot of ladies don't want to hear that. And let's be honest, yeah, he paid for face and he should pay for this because he's a millionaire, last time I checked. So obviously money is not an issue with him. It is not an issue at all. Yeah, he'll pay for you for the time being. But in regards to real deep security, which it seemed to me that you want some more, that's on you, sweet. Now, most women nowadays, that's the swirly community and all this nonsense. They wouldn't mind pushing that and want to say, oh, yeah, I'll take out. If you don't want to care, that's fine. Because they want the money and come through. Because you're a woman, you're a woman that is, I guess, established. Mostly you made most of your money off television. Let's keep it real. It's not really lawyers. Because let's be honest. Lawyers get paid decently, but they don't get paid a lot unless they got their own firm. And last time I checked, it don't seem like there's no deep evidence that you ran on your own firm. And if anybody want to question me on that, you better post in the comment section and some links to this if I'm wrong. Moving forward, let me see if I can get to run this thing on the club. I'm probably gonna have to find it on. Yeah, I have to do this because there's no way how I'm going to get it on here. Let me do this. Let me do this, guys. Let me do this. All right, that's not it. Let me go back. I'm trying to find it now, guys. Where is it? Oh, I know where it is. I know where it is. Let me go to history. I'm going to have to probably fast forward it because I'll show y'all a glimpse of it so you can see what's going on. All right, let me see if this is the one, guys. Oh, damn it. It's not even, you're not going to hear it. All right. Well, looks like I got to go old school with this one. 1 second. I don't want to do this, but because I'm having. It's not going to pull up here, which is fine. And I'll show you a glimpse of it, guys. All right, good. It's transferred. So let me move it over here. I'm going to run it. So I'm going to run this. I'll show you what I'm talking about, guys. And as y'all watch, please make sure you hit the okay, where is it? Where's the? Oh, I found it. All right, so I'm gonna lower this. I'm gonna upload it now so y'all can see what I'm talking about. I'm only gonna show you a snippet of this, where the last interview she was taking a part of.
That ass up.
And I am not gonna run all that. I'm gonna fast forward this, so y'all can get a good glimpse. See this?
Spirited conversation.
Yes, we did.
And you rolled out the red carpet, and that's why I'm here today. So I appreciate it.
Absolutely.
Awesome.
Now, did who watched the full interview with?
Now this is the clip of her last interview. And in regards, she was supposed to. Well, actually, did she doubled down in real detail of why she said what she said, and like I said, you always had to have a side eye when you see these videos or clips of certain talking points, certain trigger points that gets men and women riled up. That when you talk about this community, about either expectation, what you should be doing, what they're entitled, what I say, you're only given and you're only entitled what you qualify. And even if you qualify, you don't get everything in life. And that's one thing that misses me with a lot of this crap personally. So I'm going to fair use this a little bit, and I'm going to bounce back and forth because I'm going to run it on another thing so y'all could hear it, because I'm not going to waste time doing this. Actually, no, screw that. I could do this. I could, actually, could I? No, because it's not playing. Let me see if this will play.
Wake that ass up in the morning. The Breakfast Club.
Okay, that works. So, like I said, I'm gonna keep this image here. I'm gonna fast forward so that way I can give commentary.
Ayanna in here.
I did listen to the full Holding Court episode.
I listened to that as well.
With Ebony.
All right, so we'll keep that image there. We're gonna fast forward on here instead. This is better. And I can't tell the timestamp on this.
I feel like we about to start fighting, so let's just say we love each other.
Productive, spirited conversation.
Yes, we did.
I
feel like we about to start fighting.
I feel bad. I actually feel bad, and I'm gonna tell you why I feel bad, because I did two things this week that I normally don't do. Number one,
All right, guys. So I'm gonna run this now. Give short content. I'm not gonna play this whole thing. I'm just gonna run and just give my conclusion. So let's go on and play the video itself, or let's run this. And you see the fair use and all this nonsense. And I forgot my banners.
watch the full interview with Ayanna. I watched the clip online.
The good thing I reached out to you, my good brother.
Yes,
and we had a productive, spirited conversation.
Yes, we did.
And you rolled out the red carpet, and that's why I'm here today. So I appreciate it.
Absolutely. Awesome. Now, did who watched the full interview with Ayanna in here?
I did listen to the full.
Now, I've seen enough of the interview, and to the point where some people did play in its full context. Personally, like I said, everything happens for a reason. I think it's more orchestrated for more bigger intention, more bigger agenda. Like I said, the grill is not a very much growing platform. It's actually a stagnant, dying platform. And with outcomes and episodes like this is something they need more than anything else. Let's listen on.
Holding Court episode with Eboni K Willams and Dustin Ross. Of course, I saw the clips as well, and I as well responded on my podcast. See, the thing is, and spoke about it as well. However, there was more agreement with you than not, and so I'm excited to have this conversation.
Ayanna was really the issue when watching it, though. Like, I mean, I made a comment on your page and record.
Yeah. So, like I said, Ayana is very cunning. She does help Black women when she needs to, but overall, like I said, there's always a bigger agenda. Let's listen.
Attitude. Because I think what we know, the fact that this conversation with myself and Dr. Ayana, shout out to Masor, it aired last week. And let's talk about what's happened since then. We've had a whole White House Correspondents' Dinner, which Roy Wood Jr. killed. Shout out to Roy. We've had the Met Gala. We've got a war in Ukraine and still a war in Sudan. And yet folks is still talking about this shit more than anything else. And I think that speaks to something, right? Mm-hmm. I think it speaks to the insatiable nature of the fact that we've got to have this conversation as Black men and women. And we're talking about the Black family structure and Black wealth building. And all of those are...
Now, let's pause right here. But now, mind you, I don't push certain things on this channel in regards who should have families. Is family necessary? And the reason why I do not, I'll try not to. I make the conscious effort. If I slip up, let me know. Because as you notice today, even to the ones that have some credentials like Eboni K Willams or any other Black person here in America, you don't see us have actual structured relationships, much less really have families. And if we do have some remnants of families, it's usually broken type families, where it's just one woman and a child, no man in sight. And mind you, from the previous article, as you know, I read, she is very selfish to let you know that if it's not on her, if you don't focus on her, she don't want nothing to do with the relationship. And mind you, she said out her own mouth from Ayana's interview, which there's a soundbite for this. Y'all might not be able to hear this, but it goes like this. She said that she's been with them all. She has them all. So you said you've been with every man, every ethnic group, every racial group out there. You tell me you have done this, Eboni? So you got to catch them all? You got them all? Wait. Let me run that again. Y'all didn't hear that. Y'all did not hear that. You got them all? So why is it that you're on this illustrious... And y'all know what's next. So that tells me as a man, and most men get it, that you've been on the... Hold on. That don't sound right. Let me find the actual clip. That tells me you've been on the where's it? Here it is. You've been on the carousel from 23 and still went to school up to your mid-20s. Up to now, you've been on the carousel? Like, really, you've been on the carousel for all this time? Since you said you got them all, you've been with them all? That's the first notion when a man hears that you say you've been around and you got them all. What comes to mind is this. You've been on a carousel. That's not a good look for any adult woman of, I would say, over the age of 16 and up. Now, prioritizing relationships, lengthy relationships, will go better than being on the carousel from one man to next man, to next man, to next man. It doesn't make sense to me at the end of the day. But anyway, let's keep playing the audio. There he is.
That are tethered to why this has hit such a nerve and why it's reverberating, in a way. Tyrese posting about it, Jason Lee posting about it, the Shade Room posting about it, Spiritual World posting about it, Ava DuVernay in the comments, Viola Davis in the comments.
What was Viola saying?
We get to. So that's a good thing. I want to start by that framework. Nothing about this is negative. People are disagreeing. People are feeling away. We're going to talk about it.
No, it's not really disagreeing. It's the context. Now, everybody said that, why we should not be average. We should be above average. Okay. Not everybody gets what they want. Some people are going to rise to the occasion. Some people are going to be not amount to shit. That's the beautiful thing about the world we live in today. There's always levels. If everybody was superb and very much overly above average, let's say this, a lot of people will be maiming, hurting, and will dominate each other where it gets very vicious. And trust me, people will say, you can't say that. You tell me if people were above average, they would be doing things uncharacteristic will hurt other people. The answer to that question is yes. Regardless, you think that they're savage in mind nature. Once you're above average, you want to dominate others. Don't be fooled. We live in a Eurocentric mindset, and the premise and the end game is always domination. All right. And normally, someone that doesn't have it or has it always wants to get yours and more. That's the mindset of someone that thinks and operates in a capitalist, predatory, dominating fashion. You look at most people that are above average, on the average, do very uncharacteristic things. Some of them don't even got empathy for others. Yes, I said it. They always find some other way to take advantage over the next person that got more. It's always a predatory mindset. That's what I have to say and conclude. Moving forward, let's keep going.
But I want to start by the framing that we cannot have rupture in the culture and not do the work of repair. So to me, this is a conversation about repairing and restoring what has historically been a productive, valuable conversation and relationship between Black men and women that somehow, some way has gotten away from us.
Well, yeah, so, I think it's two different conversations. Like I watched the full, like I don't care who.
There's a lot of people that don't know what you're talking about. That might have just tuned in and have no idea.
So, Frank, go ahead, Frank. Do they live under a rock?
Some people, because you have to tell people what you're talking about.
Okay. What are we talking about?
It's some from comments that, because I don't want to misconstrue, because we only had a small piece of your conversation with Ayanla.
Sure.
So during your Ayanla conversation, she asked if you would date a bus driver.
So let me back up for 1 second and be correct. I invited Ayanla on my grill show. That grill.
And mind you, if you go through Wikipedia, it said that her mother was a bus driver. So Elana knows what the hell she's talking about. She knows what she's doing. She definitely knows what she's doing. That's why she posed that bus driver nonsense. Let's keep going. Fair use.
Show airs on Byron Allen's network. The Griot airs every night at 6. Let's first of all start with this whole shit is y'all's fault.
It always is.
This whole shit is y'all's fault here at the Breakfast Club. No, love y'all. Y'all had Ayanla on. And Ayanla made a statement on the Breakfast Club morning show, and she said that a lot of young Black ladies out here are men in skirts.
Which you agreed with.
Which I found very provocative. Did I not call you that day? I said, oh, this is spicy. I would love to participate in this conversation. And then you do what you always do, and you went radio silent.
But what Ayanla said wrong about that? That's because that's a very much a definite statement. A definite statement that you are men in skirts. That means you act and move like a man mentally, and you're wearing women's clothing. You're not feminine. You act more masculine. And let's be honest, the society grooms and conditions women today to be masculine for a reason, for a deeper agenda, which we will not discuss today. But the notion that you are men in skirts, was she lying? I mean, I can't say that she's really lying in that statement, personally. Anyway, let's keep going. Fair use.
And that's cool. So then I invited everybody that knows Charlamagne and is a loving relationship with Charlamagne know that's the shit he pulled. It's cool. I never take it personally. So it's cool. It's always love for 7 years. So then I said to my team, I said, reach out to Ayanla, let's book her, let's bring her on the grill, because I want to have the conversation, and probably more productively, right, y'all? Black woman to Black woman. Yeah, let's talk to each other. And also generation to generation. Let's talk to each other. Yeah, because she old. Yeah. Sorry. I was going to say
you should hope to get to that age.
That's it. I know. I want to age. Amen. Gracefully, beautifully. Okay, so Ayanla comes on, and I say, this is the framing I say to Dr. Vanzar, to Ayanla. I say, sis, doctor, soror, Talk to me about what you would recommend Black women do in terms of our posture and positioning. When you're right, I am showing up in a posture of building for own self.
Well, you should always, and ladies not gonna like this, because we live in a free world, that you should be sustainable for oneself as best as possible. No one say you should be, coming in it with nothing. You should always come with something, unfortunately. And as we look at how the world is shaping now, that both people have been always working, and you have to really come to compromise with each other. And I think that's the thing we lose as a people, as a society, that women work. They've always been working, especially Black women have been working since their existence in this country. Other groups of women, as regardless you think that they don't work, they do work. Regardless of they say the man gives an option, they don't have to work. Don't believe that. They doing something. See, we get this notion of this Leave It to Beaver, this type of old ass TV show narrative of this is how we should function as relationships, as function as families in the 20th century, going to the 21st century. And I'm gonna tell you right now, personally, if you still have that thinking and that logic today, you have lost. And not only have lost, you've been conditioned by television of how you should function in the society. And lastly, you should be focused on and function is through how society is teaching you through television. You should come up with your own foreways and notions of how you want to see your own family as men and women. And you both should compromise and make deals and work really together to make it happen. And the problem with our society, we don't know how to work and get along enough with each other enough to make things possible and function properly as a couple that will deal with and help structure, which will eventually build up proper families. Let's keep going.
I'm showing up in masculine energy, as you would call it. Yeah. I'm conceding your point. But tell me how you would guide me to not do so when, I'll be honest, I don't really feel like I can trust that if I don't do it, that there's going to be adequate, keyword there, adequate provision and protection if I don't do it.
Now, it's interesting you said that because wasn't provide and provision by this white man that you were supposed to get married, that you've been in a relationship and maybe engaged for a few years? You didn't seal that deal. So there's something more deeply psychologically wrong with you. And personally, I think we always got to focus what is wrong with you psychologically that makes you think and operate the way you do. Because if you can't correct that, I'll be honest with you, and this is going to sound triggering, a good portion of us should not be in relationships. And we got these issues mentally. Matter of fact, wait, let me see if I can get somebody here online before I continue running this. One second, guys. I'm gonna keep running this tape as I try to figure this out.
And just how you said it. That's exactly how I said it, right? And she said,
One second, guys. Give me a second. All right, guys. I'm going to continue playing. Fair use.
Beloved, would you date a bus driver? And then the clip goes. And then I did stare into the abyss because I wasn't really sure where we were going. But okay, because she is an elder and she's also my soror in the deference, if you know, you know, I'm going to go with you. Mm-hmm. So I honestly answered y'all in that moment. If he owned the bus. And that's what I said, Envy. But what people heard based on the comments, that I said bus drivers wasn't shit. People heard that I said that bus drivers broke, don't make no money, ain't got no benefits, and that they were beneath me. That somehow was the interpretation of me saying that I will date a bus owner. Now, let me tell you what I actually said.
And mind y'all, a lot of people that's bus owners, they make decent money, but they don't make like a whole lot of money if you own your business, unfortunately. And usually with bus owners, you got to have fleets of bus to really make some real money. And that's something that, she didn't really go into detail, but we all know that when Ayana brought that question, she brought that just to bring back trauma. Because remember, she's well known to bring and hit on your triggers because she did a little background on you, which I just did a little short background on Wikipedia. Didn't know she, but nonetheless, Well, let's keep going. And personally, if you're a millionaire woman and you did not secure no man on your journey into this money, and this makes me question a lot of women today, modern women, personally, that when Kevin Samuels was alive and he did video streams on this, that you might miss your right and you blew it. I never did conceptually really understand what he mean by you blew it. But when I think of today's modern woman, the time they spent through colleges, what are you really been doing? Because your counterparts are not wasting the time. They're not on the what do you call it? They're not on the, well, let me take it back. Some are on the other race women are on the they're on the carousel. Yes, they're on the carousel. But we know is a definite fact that a lot of sisters are on that carousel hard, like really hard. No doubt. So saying this, personally, if you're not securing no type of man that's either the same level or even on a bigger trajectory than you, then by all default, you were not seeking or wanting that from the start. That's why it kills me that a lot of women, when they get a certain age, they now want to settle down with no children, but they're in the mid-30s or late 30s. It doesn't work like that. Unfortunately, it does not work like that. So let's keep going. Fair use, or somewhat fair use.
This is what the whole Holding Court shit was about. Go check that out right now where you get your podcast. Holding Court with Eboni K Willams featuring Dustin Ross. I said on Holding Court, y'all, let me tell you why ownership is it for me. It's not about salary. Y'all made it about salary. Y'all started debating 125 a year versus 160 a year versus 200 a year.
Well, you did quote stats before you went into the thing with Ayana. You
Well,
talked about women
income,
women earn more money than men.
And I talked about black women buying more homes. We buy homes that single black women are buying 20% of the market share of new real estate on the market. I know because I just closed last summer and it was a shit show in underwriting. That's another conversation.
Graduating more. They're in college. Yeah.
I think I said it to you, Charlamagne, because Charlamagne, even you guys do so much work on the Breakfast Club about what? HBCUs.
Yep.
And
but you see, women have always been in college. You see what the problem with this conversation is, like women are graduating more, but women have always been in school. If it's not any professional trade like nails or any other small subpar trades, they're in mostly universities. And then most women are going to Harvard University because, let's be honest, is the only place where they congregate, possibly network, and maybe get degrees that it's not really amount to anything. Now that I think about it, because let's be honest, if you're getting and you're accumulating most of the majority of student loan debt in this country, and mind you, other race people have debt. Let's keep it real. They have debt. They have debt. But when we talk about our community, we have the most debt because it really is a Ponzi scheme when it comes to us. Because let's be honest, a lot of us did not go and get a free ride college, regardless if you might have the grades and get the scholarships. And the only time you really have real scholarships, let's keep it real. And I'm gonna be sad to tell you this, is usually if you're playing sports. If it was not that, most of these universities with affirmative action, which she did say in this clip that is going to be gone in a few months, is it tells you you're in a racist structured society that is setting up the atmosphere, setting up the playbook, setting you up to become that so-called permanent underclass. Which really, now that I'm really telling y'all this personally, is out of your control. Unless you get reparations. But that's not a story. Fair use.
I was devastated when my good friend Eugene Scott sent me a post, Washington Post article that said Black men are going to HBCUs 1 to 2. It's 2 to 1 for Black women graduating. So these are things we gotta.
Because HBCUs are not any significant universities. Majority Black people. I got shit on this, but I gotta keep real with y'all. And I'm the only person that can keep it real. The reason why people don't go to HBC is because they serve no benefit to Black people. And trust me, if you go to HBCU, you're gonna pay more tuition on the HBC than you pay in a regular PWI. Because these Black universities don't got like that. If they're alleged Black universities, because most of them were designed for the mulattoes back in the 1800s. Because they can't put the same mixed kids in front of their kids. Sorry. That's just the honest truth. You get a degree from HBCU, that's cool. But it doesn't mean nothing on the market. Besides, somebody, if they really look upon you by where you get your education from, that does really matter. Let's move on.
Look at, because you have daughters and you have daughters, and some of y'all in here got daughters. And if they're gonna want to partner and marry men, and Black men at that, and they're gonna want to build together, as you two cite your marriages as examples of, we gotta talk about how people can be equally yoked. So back to
simple. You could be equally yoked. You find a dude that's about some. If he's in school and he's doing some of any parties, you partner up and make a life from there. That's how it works. See. Non-Black women, they'll still pick a certain department of a potential mate that will possibly make more. Or actually will make more, depending on where the market is. But overall, they partner up as young and at the somewhat same level as their man as possible. They don't sit to wait till they get out of college. They go to parties. Hell, they don't even also go on the... They just don't do that. On the average, they know that the more time they invest and waste, the less chance they're going to get of some man of significance that will at least provide something for them in the future. And I heard this thing about partner. I mean, there's more kind of detailed definition of partner, which I mean hearing. But overall, that word partner, I mean, I don't know about that. Most dudes are not down with that. I'm just saying. But anyway, varies.
Ownership, Charlamagne. I said ownership is key for me. Why? Not because I'm a bougie bitch. This is not about everybody being a Harvard surgeon. This is about this book right here, Bet on Black. You've read it, Charlamagne. Y'all were at the party. Y'all know what time it is. It's hard to be free in America as a Black person when you don't own anything. And I mean that with my fiber in my being. And I'm going to prove it to you. My grandfather, Kerry James Williams, had a 4th grade education in Mount Pelier, Louisiana. He then provided for my family with everything they needed by doing 5 things at one time. That man cut hair. He made and sold moonshine. He cut graveyards on the weekend. He also worked a salary job at a feed mill. If you know about that feed mill life, then you know. My point in this is saying this, and then he raised my mother, Gloria, who also did not complete college. She took 2 years at Texas Southern. It ain't gonna be that for me. And she pieced out and she started her own business. She drove the bus. So for all of y'all in the comments, well, my daddy drove a bus. Well, my mama drove a bus. My mother drove a bus as well, y'all. She drove a bus until she acquired a skill set. In her case, it was cosmetology. She drove the bus in the morning, the school bus. She would get off the bus. She would go to Universal Beauty School off of Beatties Ford Road in Charlotte, North Carolina. She would then get back on the bus, drive the afternoon shift. Then she would come check on me.
Oh, and as y'all watching, please hit the like button. You can share this if you like. I would truly appreciate it. Let me just look at some things. Hold on. All right, let's keep going.
Make sure that I was doing what I needed to do. And then she would go drive for UPS. So for those of y'all talking to me like I don't know what a CDL license can do, I helped my mom study for a CDL when I was 9 years old. I promise you I know about that life. My point is this. It's about skills. It is nothing wrong with driving a bus if that is your maximum skill set. I simply want to call Black America up to the excellence that I know we can occupy. I've seen it before. Entrepreneurship is the key to me. That's not just me talking. That's Earl Graves Sr., the founder and visionary of Black Enterprise. I'm talking about Black Enterprise, Black ownership, and Black liberation. And it is important to me. It's in my DNA. It's my personal legacy. Because my mama told me, y'all, nobody will pay you what you will pay you. And this is not about shaming bus drivers, but I want to be clear. If you are driving a bus today, and that is the maximum of your skill set, I love and appreciate it for you. I have to, because it's an honest day's living. But I want to tell you the truth. And this is not about hurting feelings or talking down or being an elitist. I need you to know that in 10 years, you may or may not have a job because AI, artificial intelligence. See, this is the part nobody wants to talk about.
Oh, as actually you talk about the artificial intelligence. Did I cover this on this channel? I haven't. I know a few people that been talking about AI. I'm gonna say this for all those that's gonna listen to this, and you go and listen to the stream. I don't care what you say, or you go back and watch length. And I'm gonna try to keep it as short as possible to stream today. Stop being afraid of artificial intelligence. You must embrace technology. Technology is here for a reason. It serves a purpose for the betterment of humanity, for societies, especially if you live in a first world nation. In regards to people saying that things are going to be automated and they're going to take people's jobs. Well, like anything, like any society or any human being, you always and you will adapt like anything else. And the problem with these conversations that kills me is that I find it very rare when people tell me say that what else, the scarcity mindset of what else, I'm gonna lose my job. If you lose one job, you go pick up another job. And if you lose it, you pick up another job. Hell, even go as far as learn something. You see, the problem with people feel about comfortability only goes so far. In a society or in a world, you are not secure or does know where things are going. And really, you want not only to embrace it, but you should expect the more harder society gets on your ass. And as much as I don't want to say that, and it's uncomfortable me saying this, I gotta come to realization that when we're talking about if you're doing something that's repetitive, it eventually could always be obsolete, automated on a given notice. See, people push this fear about these machines. Like this is going to be the death toll of a lot of people. No, it's going to be something that people could take advantage and use for their own benefit. I'm in the more logic to deal with proacting than being reactive. But like I said, we can have these deeper conversations. Let's move forward. Various.
The lawyers might not have a job in 10 years.
They might not. And that's why
and mind you, they said she did some lawyering here, but she didn't really like it. That's why you see her do television. Let's keep that straight. Fair use.
So I'm glad you're going there, Charlamagne, because this is the part of the conversation that people really are feeling triggered by. We all have to reassess constantly our skill set and how it's applicable today and how it might or might not be applicable tomorrow. So this goes back to everybody in the comments. Well, my daddy drove a bus and he did this and this and he was respectful and he was a good black man. He was a great black man, I'm sure. I'm sure all the bus drivers are saints and none of them cheat and none of them beat women and they all are just God-fearing men that show up and how they're supposed to in this world.
1 second, guys. What's good, Deidre? How you doing, sir? Yeah, hold on. You actually, as you know, I am live here on Zero Ends right now, and I'm talking about this Eboni K Willams. I'm live now, where everybody can hear you. Let you know. But
okay. I'm sorry. I saw you call me.
Yeah. Don't worry. Question. Have you read the Wikipedia background of Eboni K Willams? Or you been hearing what people have been talking about her? Have you gone through her little?
Yeah, I heard some stuff about her being broke.
Being what? Broke?
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm not aware of that. I'm not sure.
Yeah, well, not necessarily, because they were saying something about somebody had to pay something. I don't know if it was I don't know if it was student loans or something. They said she couldn't pay for herself, and somebody paid some guy paid it, or she didn't have money for something. I saw that like 2 days ago.
All right. Well, I will say this. Not to divert to this topic I'm doing on live here right now, is a lot of people, Deidre, you know, because you might have had student loans, but you're easy to pay off because you didn't take much debt at the time getting your education. She did, like most Americans. You get me? Remember, if you look at her background is in. Let me see if I can pull up for you. Since I'm talking to you.
She's a lawyer.
No, but besides lawyer, it's more than that. Let me give you the real background of her education. Her education in states. Let me see. She studied and received a bachelor's in arts and communication and African American studies at the University of North Carolina at Chapel Hill. Then she got her Juris Doctorate in the University of New Orleans College of Law. So let's do the math. She's about to turn 40 in September. She probably left high school roughly either 2001 or 2002, one or the other, because she was born later. And she gets her degree 4 years, right? Then she go get her Juris Doctorate. That took another 2 or 3 years, depending how she go about it, right? And she did not start practicing, or because there's no real background of what she did with her law degree. They always say that she was really dealing with people that had like rape or any other abuse for only 2.5 years, maybe. And then she went on TV and stuff, or it was posted in 2010. You follow?
Okay.
This is just what I'm reading. So I could say that she got that, and really she didn't really do much with it. Besides, she got it.
Well, law degree?
Yeah. Because there's no real background what she has really done with it. Like literally. You get me?
Right.
So and I'm not saying people that got these degrees as worthless. It's like what you really doing with it, personally, But it goes to show that if she was in debt, it makes sense, because I don't think she got a free ride to college, because look what degree she got. A liberal arts degree in African studies.
Right.
Now, I thought she went in and got a law degree from the start. No, her first degree is in this. What that tells you? What that tells you?
What it tells me she just got a bullshit degree that wasn't able to get no money out of it.
There you go. But I tell people,
she probably was in college to look for a rich guy. She strikes me as the type just to be in there trying to find somebody who is successful.
Listen. I would agree with you on that, but I disagree, and here's why. The only person I know that she was actually engaged to actually get married, and there's no other evidence. I could waste my time go look up, but I'm not gonna scour. That seemed to me, baby, you've been on this earth, you've been dabbling with a lot of men, and not one man has put you really, like you said, in that spot, or let's say what you want. You're dabbling, you're bouncing around, you're on the And I give this note, she's gonna like the sound. I give it that she was on the carousel. You get that?
Right.
Yeah. So because remember, she was in an interracial relationship that was evident during her time during the that show Housewives of Atlanta. I mean Housewives of New York.
She's with that Indian man, I think.
I mean, she was in it, but she was in a relationship with a white man for a few years.
Oh, it was a white guy?
Oh. Yeah, white dude. And he had kids already. You get me? But the point is this, D-Rail, that regardless she has some debt or not, she don't have no debt now because she's a millionaire now, because she found a direction where she really wants to be in like television, which a lot of them
being
do.
A millionaire don't mean you're not in debt.
I mean, I don't know because I don't know her financial background.
I mean, there's a lot of millionaires that got a lot of debt. That don't mean anything, man. See, people gotta really understand what wealth is, and she only worth $3 million. Like she ain't really worth as much. That ain't. I mean, that $3 million is a nice little chunk of shit. It ain't a lot of money.
No, it's not a lot in today's world. Not a lot today. It would have been 30 years.
$3 million don't mean you got $3 million in cash. That means you she may have about in cash, even though she worth $3 million.
Mm-hmm.
That money could be in stocks, bonds, her house, any property she owns, business, her contract, what her contract is worth doing that show. I mean, that doesn't mean like say for instance, remember Kanye was worth all his money, and then when those contracts got canceled, they lowered his worth because he lost those contracts.
Yes, there you go. Yep, you're right. When that happened,
your value is based on income that you're getting ready to get and all this other stuff. So when you're doing an evaluation on somebody's wealth, it ain't just cash. She probably got about 100. She may have $200,000 or $300,000 in a, which ain't bad. That's good. I mean, it's still good, but for her, to me, she ain't even wealthy enough to be acting like she's supposed to be being with all these. What she is a person who likes to spend a lot of money. They want to live a lifestyle she can't afford. That's what I see. She living as a millionaire that she is.
Yep.
You know, she living what for a lot of average. She living way above average and can afford it. But when we're talking about people worth $50 million, that's what she looking for, the man worth $20, $30, $40, $50 million and above. That's what she's not looking for, a guy that's worth $1 million or a guy who make $500,000. No. She wants these motherfuckers that are like super rich and shit, and that can, she's living on a way more extravagant plane than she is right now, and and those guys don't want her. And number one, they far and few between. Number one, and the guys, they don't want her. Them guys want the best of the best, and they don't even care about what you worth. Them guys, that's another thing. The more wealthier you looking at a guy, the less he worried about how much money you make.
Yeah, I agree.
Man, what the hell? You think Bill Gates worried about how much money you make? Like you, all the money he got, he didn't give a shit about you making $1 million, $2, and they don't care about that shit.
Yeah.
You know, and that's what these women don't understand. You earning that money, the best thing that your education does for you, it puts you in an environment with highly successful people. It puts you in the door.
Just in the door.
But it puts you in that environment.
Yeah.
Man, I know women right now who went to college just to get married.
No.
They give a shit about going.
Yeah.
A lot of women like that. A lot of white women do that shit.
A lot of non-black women. Non-black women do it, especially. But go ahead.
Yeah, but I know some black women who did it.
Okay.
They bad. They bad as fuck. They bad. When I'm talking about they bad. I know a lady right now who married a white guy. And she doing great.
Okay.
And she went sole purpose. And that's another thing you gotta understand. Notice she said she date men from all backgrounds. Notice That's 101. That's textbook 101 in women who like to who want to find a man that's rich. They understand that in order for you to get one, because they saw you have to open. You can't have a small demographic to focus. You got to be open to everybody.
Of course.
And that's why she date any race of men, because she understands she can't limit herself because the pot is already small.
But my thing is this, Brother D. Darrell, that we all know the pot is small in regards to people who make 1% or 5 to even close to 1% of the population, right? In regards to actual money, not wealth, but money. Because wealth, it varies, because some people who have new money, it has to be passed down 2 generations before it's considered like actually have like wealth. You get me? That
right.
That with her or any woman, right? I look at the outcomes, and say, are you there intentionally trying to just, look for a man to take care of for the rest of life? Or are you there just to be bouncing around to really get some notoriety and then get some money? And eventually, once you get to that point where, say, all right, I think I bounced around the carousel enough, it's time to really settle down. The men are not there. Even the guy that was like 53 and she was like 30, so like over 12, 13 years difference, right? He already has kids already. Once he touched 50, those non-black people, on the average, you get me? You think that he's gonna pick you, your black ass, over his kids?
Exactly, and she gonna get mad at the man for not wanting to be with his kids during COVID. What kind of fucking shit is that? Like, and that's what I said.
It's selfish.
It's
selfishness.
Yesterday.
Yeah.
That's stupid. You should be commending him for wanting to be with his children. But you worried about me. I want to be put first. Well, who you gonna put first?
No one.
Thank you.
But it lets you know, and I heard even now that says she probably is freezer eggs like most modern women that, let's say, got this status or whatever illusional status, right? That it makes me think, well, it seemed to me that you are intentionally want to be a single mother, because if your mom took care of you by herself, regardless of the man was your father's absent for a reason, it seemed that you're following that same tradition. So when we talk about the man, it's not really on the man at this point. Once you're an adult as a woman, you want to have a different outcome. And if you're wasting your time out here in these streets, which she has, like a good portion of women, you can't complain and ask and demand what you really want. You're only gonna get what you actually deserve, and even that you don't get. That's the danger of modernization to a lot of Americans today, that they feel that everything should be given to them in a handbasket, that if they put in enough effort, that they should be entitled to something. Hell, you hear dudes talk about they should be entitled, and we all know as men, we could say that, but then do we get what we get? And the answer is no. That's why the internet gets a serious buzz, and that's what you're doing, D. Darrell, in regards to the dating show and being really honest with ladies. It's needed. Now, how far you'll go with this direction, we don't know. Only time will tell. But it lets you know, saying that one man has done it and done it successfully. Why do you think he's no longer here? You get me? And I'll say this for those that's not familiar with him, the guy I'm talking about, Kevin Samuels. He said on one of his live streams, which I can't remember what live stream was, he said directly to the camera to a lot of the people that watch his channel, that what he's doing is very dangerous because he's changed the trajectory of the market that wants to keep it the way it is, to keep pushing pipe dreams, bullcrap to the ladies.
Right.
And as you know, if it was so real, your outcomes should be the result of all this. And now you're not getting the outcome. So that tells me wherever you listen, information you're absorbing or consuming is lying to you. And now it's lying, it's setting you up for disaster. A lot of women that sit there doing response and giving praise to Eboni K Willams, when I look at the deeper outcomes and deeper agenda of things, Eli Van Zandt did her homework on this woman. Do you hear me, D. Darrell? Why she said bus driver? Because I Googled it, and it's proven fact that her mother in Wikipedia said her mother was a bus driver. So you think Ayana didn't know that?
Who's a bus driver?
Eboni K's mother once was a bus driver.
Oh, her mom was a bus driver.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
So how is it miraculously Ayana knew that? I'm telling you right now, there's a lot. There's a lot of games being played here, and as I look at the outcome, because she has a book, Eboni has a book that's been out since January. It's gonna buy. I don't care what anybody say. And tell
they buying that shit now.
Well, I had to look at the sales, but I'll be honest with you. Any person that's pushing about a comic book, econ book and all stuff, I say you better be well studied. You better have some field of experience, degrees on it, if you're gonna push that, or some education in it. Because what she's putting out in the market is the same nonsense that's been said and written 20 or more years ago, bro.
Right.
And here's that thing. I'm not saying that, tell people what they should be buying, but keep in mind that everything that's being done now, move forward, is always some form of buzz to get some attention. You get me? Ayana knows what she was doing. She did her research on it and mentioned that question. And this would brought buzz where a lot of people talk, especially the fellas. And even the fellas talk about it now. And monitors. I said, listen, dudes, I get it. This is content for us, but be always aware of the bigger end game. You get me? Because we don't do these deep research. I just did just now. I wouldn't know about it. She said it, but is it true? And lo and behold, it looked like it's been accurate for some time on Wikipedia. I'm not sure when it was posted, right, but it looked like this has been out for a long time about her. So why is it that Eli brought that up, and why people are getting and really keeping it and talking about this in mass numbers? It's because it's all orchestrated, people. For her saying what she said on another platform, and then someone pays advertisers to promote that, now it brings buzz. See, they like to take advantage of our emotions, D. Darrell. And this is all it needs. Once you're emotional, what's the next step? You give it attention. You talk about it.
Right.
That's all they need. This is good for the grill, because the grill needs this more than anything, because the grill is a slow, stagnant, struggling YouTube channel. This is what they need right now. This is what Eboni needs, right, to sell her little frivolous book. And I say frivolous because if it's information about where black people going and all that stuff, I said, listen to me, good niggas. The destiny of black people is only held by destiny of what black people want out of this life and what they want out of this country. That's it. I'll tell you one thing that's evident black people should know. If anything the state said that's going to happen to them, and so that the position where they say you're going to be this for the entire existence in America, is a more notion that as you're being productive, you better fight for reparations at the same time. Why are you doing what you have to do? You better fight reparations as well as being productive in society. You cannot play sleep with this now.
Right.
I want to hear about people that say they're against it. I tell you, so if you're against it, one thing to excommunicate them, say where are you from? Whereas if they dabble and they say do this, or even go and they do any ifs of not even answer that question, you cut them off immediately, bro. Because most of them are not born here, raised here. They don't give a crap about fucking America. All they want to do is say, I came here with nothing. But you do came with something. Get that? You do came with something. You have mindset because you came here with something, and the states and the government provide the necessary resources for you so you can come up. They will not do this for black people in America. Every chance they get, loans and all stuff, they're going to get denied because they cannot promote certain things where you already know how the system works or you learn enough to take advantage. They're going to keep you stagnant while bring everybody else up so they could further absorb you in other races of people. That's the whole intention. Because if they absorb you enough, they have to give you no fucking reparations. And if they do get reparations, they're going to give it to where you're just a small, tiny, loose pile where it doesn't hurt them.
Right.
Because they sure give everybody else everything all day to Sunday. So don't tell me that there's no money for black people. There's money for black people. So, yeah. So that's the scoop, bro. But like I said, I will prefer to have more deep analysis. But as more information I told you about her, this is something that it gives more clarity to what really is going on. You get me? I get away from the emotion of things. I gotta deal with the more end game of the purpose why things are put out the way it is. That's why if you look here on the Zero End Show, we're going to deal with the politics and we're going to look at things further and deeper on this channel, hopefully. You get me? I tell people many times, this channel is slow growing. It's not growing much, but will y'all help? Y'all gotta subscribe to the channel because this is not being discussed. I did a little digging, and this is evident what I just found right now. So if you have to start questioning everything that's put out in the media, regardless, you're trying to get clickbait. So, all right. I'll hit you up another time. All right.
All right,
All right, guys. I'm gonna wrap this up. I've been in here long enough. I'm not gonna stress. I was going and pushing another 10 minutes of this, but I'm just not going to. In conclusion, to white supremacy and this bus driver notion, is it bus driving or white supremacy? Which is it, Ms. Willams? I would say it is one way. It is about the bus driver. A lot of black men, especially not, got triggered over this because a woman like this, she has no receipt or any significance in her own life, much as to tell what she qualifies or what she's not going to accept. She only gets what she only can negotiate. And right now, she has nothing to negotiate right now. If you couldn't get married to these other groups of men and secure a deal, then you are pretty much done out here. Besides the typical modern black men will still deal with you like most things. If they get the chance to clap them cheeks, they will. But overall, in regards to marrying you, and I just don't see that in the future. Even if a man is 5 or 10 years older than her, I don't see no man dealing with her in regards to a long-term thing. I'll tell you one thing: she is eye candy for a short little black woman from, I believe she's from North Carolina. That's pretty much it. Now, in regards to white supremacy, to wrap this up, the permanent underclass was always put in motion for black people since, during, and after enslavement in the building of America. Anytime they write hit piece about permanent underclass or anything that the position where black people are heading, where they're going, keep in mind that they always had this in the docket for the end game for a lot of black folks that's been here building this country for centuries. The question you ask, will reparations help alleviate black people so they don't become underclass? The answer is possibly it won't, and then possibly it might. Only thing with reparations for black people that should be still fight is to give you enough ammunition so you make the decision what you could do once you get the actual repair, whether it's land, money, or etc. I prefer all, and from there you decide what you should do, what is rightfully owed to you. All I know is this: once 2053 comes around and they talk about this thing where the status of black folks, you got to keep in mind that you should always ask, will black people be still looking black in America in the next 32 years? Once you answer these questions, everything else will follow suit. So when they talk about permanent underclass, that's something that the system designed and structured and put out to make you and already set in motion. That's where they have you, and that's where you're going to be. And there's no procreating or dating out, intermarrying going to prevent you becoming that. Sorry, and that's untrue. That's it. If you're new to Zero Ends show, welcome to Zero Ends. Also, make sure you leave a comment at the end of this video. I'll be looking forward to reading your comments at the end of this one if you made this far. Also, like this video, and please subscribe to Zero Ends channel. Thank y'all for watching or listening. Until next time, take care.